Good morning! Halika, magkape tayo. Welcome to the Morning Coffee with Father Jerry. Our text for today is taken from the Gospel of John, chapter 3, verses 27 to 30. It says, After these things, Jesus and his disciples went to the district of Judea. He spent some time there with them, and he was baptizing. And John was baptizing at Ainon near Salem because there was much water there. The people kept coming to him and being baptized, for John had not yet been thrown into prison. A discussion arose between some of John's disciples and a Jew about the matter of cleansing. So they came to John and said to him, Rabbi, look now, the man who was with you on the other side of Jordan, the man to whom you bore your witness, is baptizing, and they are all going to him. John answered, A man can receive only what is given to him from heaven. You yourselves can testify that I said, I am not the anointed one of God, but I have been sent before him. He who has the bride is the bridegroom, but the friend of the bridegroom who stands and listens for him rejoices at the sound of the voice of the bridegroom. So then my joy is complete. He must increase, but I must decrease. Thus far is the reading of the reflection for today. What is it for us? What is God's message for us through this text just read today? Ito, nakita natin, kagaya sa sinabi ko kahapon, iba't ibang texts ang nasusulat, binabasa natin daily, pero just the same, ang konteksto, John the Baptist. Siya na nga ang main character ng ating Advent season. Pero, sabi ko, different perspective ang dapat nating pinag-share nitong ating morning reflection prayer. So, gaya ngayon. Okay? So, we have already seen that part of the purpose of the writer of the fourth gospel, that is John. So, John, the evangelist, his purpose of writing this particular gospel today is to ensure that John the Baptist, the forerunner of Jesus, yung main character natin, receives his proper place as the forerunner of Jesus. No more, no less. And that is the vocation, the calling, the invitation of John the Baptist. Very clear yan ang sinasabi ko. But no higher place than that. No higher place than that except the Messiah, the Savior, and that is Christ. That's why kung napansin nyo, ang ginawa kong title sa ating reflection today is there, He must increase, but I must decrease. Dahil nga sabi ko, until now, yung kanilang mga followers ay talagang nagkakaroon sila ng competition. May nagsumbong pa nga kanina, Lord, paano yung iba? May isa doon, naabutan namin, nadaanan namin, nagbibinyag din siya. Ano ba talaga ito? So, yun yung mga tinatawag nating early, hindi naman ito conflict, but early activities ng discipleship, ng ministry. Hindi pa lang sila na-distinguish kasi this time, hindi pa lumalabas si Jesus as the Messiah. Pinaghahandaan pa natin. So, ang nakafocus ngayon sa mga activities, yung ministerial action or mission ng mga followers ni John and the would-be followers of Jesus later, nakatutok sila dito. Binyag through baptism. Okay, so itutuloy natin. There were those who were still ready to call John the Master and the Lord. That's why, laging ini-emphasize ni John yon. At saka yung gospel writer na si John, in this fourth gospel writer, talagang wishes to show that John had a place. Pero ang proper place niya, John had a place. But that highest place was reserved for Jesus. So may place siya, higher place, but the highest place was reserved for the Savior, the coming, the Messiah. Okay. And also, John the Evangelist, the fourth gospel writer, wishes to show that John himself, the Baptist himself, had never any idea than that of Jesus. Okay? So, parang tawag ito, kanya-kanyang role. Kanya-kanyang role. John, complicated itong daming-daming John. The writer of this fourth gospel is John, the Evangelist. And ang pinag-usapan, si John, the Baptist, na tagapaghanda, forerunner of the Savior, the Messiah. One thing is certain in this passage today. This passage shows us the exemplary attitude of humility of John the Baptist. Ang kanyang mga nasasakupan, followers, wanted to put him into the pedestal. The first, kasi siya yung unang inaasahan nila na siya ang darating. So, makikita mo dito na nanatili siyang humble. At tanggap niya kung saang place yung para sa kanya at saan yung place para kay Jesus. So, in this passage, John had 3 reminders to his disciples, his followers. Number 1, he told them that he had never expected anything else. He never expected anything else maliban lang sa kanyang pagiging role as preparing the way of the Lord. So he told them that point of fact. And he had assured them that his was not the leading place, but that he was merely sent as the herald, tagapaghanda ng darating na messenger, the forerunner and the preparer for the greater one who is to come into their midst. Okay, that was his reminder to his followers. He is not expecting anything else except his role. Number 2, he told them that no person could receive more than what God has offered him. And then, he was not expected to receive anything more than what God has offered him. Ganda. Kasi, well, hindi naman natin maikapag-deny when we are invited, when we are given some kind of special places of honor or invitation, normally, I don't know, may tinatawag tayong palaging expectations. Ganyan ito. Ang laki ng role ni John the Baptist. Ang laki ang gandang pagkakataon nito ng kanyang mga disciples para maiangat si John at sa kanyang style of leadership, maiangat nila at ma-identify din sila as followers of John. Yes, followers of John. Pero, yun na nga. So, humble that he said to them, He was not expecting anything more. And then, itong number 2, kung ano lang ay ibibigay sa kanya, happy na siya doon. Simple lang. No? So, ulitin ko. Sabi niya, no person could receive more than what God has offered him. Okay. So, expectations dapat nakalagay yun sa proper places. Kung hindi, magkakaproblema tayo. Yung expectation na yan. And number 3, finally, John used a very vivid picture which every Jew would recognize. For it was part of the heritage of the Jewish thought. He called Jesus the bridegroom and himself the friend of the bridegroom. See? Kita nyo na how humble he was. He didn't base himself or compare himself or wanted to have equality with Jesus. Yun ang, I've been using this term, yung proper place, proper time, and proper attire. I don't know kung mag-fit yan dito. But that's the point of John. That's the point of John. So humble, at the same time, he was true to his role, to his invitation, to his calling. And he's no longer expecting big things and big time and big events in his life. Itong mga nagawa niya ngayon, actually, hindi nga niya lang sinasabi, ito yung pinaka-mission accomplished sa buhay ni John. Kasi kanina o kahapon, I've been trying to challenge you, playing the role of John the Baptist into your friends, into your relatives, into your community members, into your neighbors, is a big role and a big commitment to Jesus. Playing a role of John the Baptist. So, to conclude, tapusin natin. John's task had been to bring Israel and Jesus together, to arrange the marriage between Christ, the bridegroom, and Israel, the bride. When the task was completed, he was happy to fade away into obscurity, for his work was already done. Yun na sabi ko, mission accomplished. It was not with envy that he said that Jesus must increase and he must decrease. It was with joy that he expressed himself. Jesus must increase and I must decrease. Fading away from the crowd into obscurity. Okay? So it may be that sometimes we would do well to remember that it is not to ourselves we must try to attach with people. It is to Jesus. Well, more or less ganun pa rin, pointing to other people, Christ, that's playing the role of John to our neighbors. Okay? It is not for ourselves that we seek the highlights in the life of the ministry of the church. And that will be our challenge. Hindi lang will, that is our challenge today. No, it should be Him. At times, we tend to steal the limelight, the spotlight from the main actor in our ministry, out of our needs to be recognized and acknowledged. Like John is a perfect example to this. After his mission was accomplished, he just faded away into obscurity. Okay? So my brothers, my sisters, that will be our challenge today. Is that when we serve the church, we are serving Christ. And then we don't just, when we are serving our ministry in the church, we are not gathering followers, likers. We are not gathering people to like us, to look up to us, to admire how beautiful and handsome we are. No. We are doing everything because we are pointing out to Christ. Everyone and everything whom we serve in the ministry. Ulitin ko lang sinabi ko, it's not a good example that we are stealing the spotlight away from the church, away from the main actor in the church, and that is God. It is not good to gather everyone, pointing everyone to ourselves, kundi we are here because we want to point out others to the church and above all, and that is to God. So the reminder simplified us, huwag tayong magnakaw o mag-steal ng attention of people to attend to us, to ourselves. Huwag nating nakawan ang limelight. Limelight, the main actor in every celebration in the ministry is always Jesus. Jesus who represents the unseen God the Father. Okay? So, paano ito mga kapatid? Good morning ulit sa inyo. Don't forget to drink your coffee and see you tomorrow.